Alrighty. So, just gave the lawn a quick mow with the mulch plug in. Knocked off a heap of those seed heads. There's a little bit of debris left on there, but whatever. It's good for the lawn to put the clippings down on there as long as they're not super heavy, because that's organic matter that can push down into the soil and break down. It contains fertilizer and all that stuff. Sometimes it grows so fast that when I mow without a catcher, it's going to have big dumpings of clippings on the lawn, and that can cover the lawn and make it go yellow and all that. So where I can, I will try and leave the clippings on there. So I've noticed something on the lawn. See that? The really nice dark lush looking lawn. It's in this area here of, it's relatively dry and it just looks a bit brown. It's not lack of water, it's getting fertilized. I'm just trying to work out what the hell's going on. But yeah, check that out. Nice lush looking grass right next to it. Right next to it, just thins out and it starts to grow just differently. Sort of seems, this patch here is what I want. So yeah, there's those random little circles that just appear in the lawn. It's a little bit darker there, a little bit darker here. That's that one that really stands out. Here, there's another one. The only thing I can think is, when I apply my fertilizers with the spreader, it comes out evenly. I put it on a low rate and I walk up and down. I try not to just let it dump in any spots. I don't think that's what's happening. Same thing as when I'm doing a liquid fertilizer. I'm using a good sprayer, a proper nozzle. I don't think it's dripping out. I don't stop there and pause there anyway, so I can't see why it's that. The only thing I think is, it could be the dogs. Where the dogs wee, it's giving it enough nitrogen or whatever to not burn it and to let it grow really, really fast like that. So I'm going to do a little experiment today in little patches. So I'm going to intentionally try and put more patches in the lawn just so I can try and work out what I might be able to add to it to get rid of the patches. And yeah, you guessed it, just something different, windy. I love the wind, it's great. It's a good day to fly a kite, I guess. Maybe I could buy a kite. So what I'm going to quickly do is going to get a bit of urea, put it in this patch here, and water it in. Then I'm going to get a bit of that Plant Doctor Champion Lawn and Fairway Fertilizer. And I'm going to put that in a circle here and see if they create any different patches, if one creates more than the other. I know it's probably not that good to put urea straight on the lawn, but if the lawn responds to it, I don't know, I think I might just do it. So we'll see what happens, alright? Alright, so this is just standard urea, soluble nitrogen, 46000. I'm going to line it up, try and line it up with the edge of that concrete. So I know roughly where I'm putting it. So that's probably heaps, but I'll give it heaps of water, it shouldn't burn it. Now the next one is this Champion. Again, I'm going to line it up with the edge of this septic tank cover, but I'm going to do it a little bit closer. So these circles shouldn't be close enough to contaminate each other. So obviously this is just like a real hack experiment. I have no idea how much I just put down. That's way more than you would normally put down over the lawn, like per square meter I'm going to say, but if I give it heaps of water it should be fine. So let's do that. You can already see them starting to dissolve. They're getting smaller. Give the other patch a bit of a hit. Right, so I just realised I'm adding all that extra water a way that I can try and make sure that it's not just the extra water that's making it lush is just over here away from where all of that fertilizer is. I'm just going to give it a big flooding of water as well. That way I can make sure it's not just heaps of water that's going to make it go, because if that's the case, then like dang, I'm going to have to put so much water on this. I'm already giving it a lot, and I don't think that's really economical to just flood it that much. So see what happens. Extra water only, fertilizer, champion fertilizer and extra water, urea and extra water, plus that patch at the back that's just not going to get any extra love. We'll see what happens with that. Right, we'll check in later. Sweet. Hopefully it's good. Cheers. I'm going to give this a real quick mow, and then I'll show you what the urea is doing and the fertilizer is doing. It's pretty cool actually. So, real quick. And just like that, it's mowed. Alrighty, check this out. Dog wee from something like this. Good boy. Go on, get it. That there is urea to the circle. Look at that. And then the plant doctor champion, I think it was. Yeah, you can see that as well. And then extra water is here. Extra water is right there. So while that did help a little bit, not as much. Dog wee there. Proper lawn fertilizer there. Urea there. And then that circle at the back, more dog wee. So unless I can get my hands on a heap of dog wee, I think I'm going to have to put some fertilizer on the lawn. Yeah, so note to self, I just literally haven't fertilized this lawn enough. Which makes perfect sense because you can probably hear it now, the wind. It's just been so windy. Literally having to hide here to get out of the wind, but it's been so windy, I haven't been fertilizing enough. So that's my bad. I'm just gonna throw any old fertilizer that I've got on the lawn at a pretty high rate. Get ready for the growth surge, because my parts for my Scott Bonner came in the post today. So I'll put that back together, and I'll be able to get mowing this again more regularly and heaps thicker. I was wondering why the hell it was so thin and why it just looked a bit lacking in some areas. I sprayed that green light by Lawn Porn and I got a bit of a reaction, like pretty good, but obviously just nowhere near enough in the soil. I think one thing that happened was because I got that easy flow, I thought, it's all coming back to me. Because I got that easy flow, I thought, sweet, don't have to fertilize anymore. But the problem is you need to put fertilizer in there, and I'm just putting heaps of soil conditioners and stuff in there, so I'm an idiot. I've been putting a little bit of Activate Mate in there, but not enough. And I've got it on its lowest setting. So yeah, more or less, this video is you watching me realize that I made a big mistake and I just forgot to really pump the fertilizer this year. Last year, I smashed the fertilizer because I was trying to get it to spread. So I think I was just pumping it. This year, I've been lazy and it's been windy and I thought I was doing enough for the easy flow. But lesson learnt, and I'll show you what I'm going to put on this lawn, and then we'll see what the whole result is going to be like. It's going to be awesome. I had this stuff in the shed. I normally throw it on the lawns in the main street in town here to make them look a bit nicer because they don't normally get fertilised. But I'm just going to pump this down at max rate and see what happens. Nothing like trying to over fertilise after you've been under fertilising, so I'll be the test dummy and we'll see what happens. Ideally, I'd like to put down some of that Champion or like a good quality stuff like Champion 2-spec elevate, something like that. But where I live, I have to pay so much for postage that I have to take advantage of free postage or package posting. And I know Plant Doctor do $200. If you buy more than $200, you get free postage. But man, I just don't need $200 worth of Plant Doctor stuff at the moment. Don't get me wrong, I could do it, but I just don't need it. So I'm gonna go with what I've got, use that cheap gear, we'll get some results, we'll get heaps of fast growth, probably not the best for the roots, but we've been pumping soil amendments and soil conditioning and all that kelp, the roots can handle it. We'll see what happens. All right, so this thing here wants, of this gear, what was it, 75 grams over 3 square meters. So 300 square meters would be 7,500 grams. So this is just less than that, so about 7 kilos. Go and pinch the scales from your missus' kitchen. So they'll be heaps happy. Fill one of these bad boys to the top. That is 2.1 kilos. I'll do 3 of them. That'll get me, what? 3 of them will get me, what, 6.3 kilos? And I can do a 700 grammer. Always wear gloves. So 770, straight in. Right, so I've got this thing set on heaps low, like as in to come out heaps slow. I'll quickly put it down. I might have to go over it 3 or 4 times to make sure it's relatively even. Then I'm gonna water it in. Heaps windy, but those MP rotator things throw out a pretty fat drop, so it shouldn't be blown around by the wind too much. If I notice there's some areas that are pretty dry, I'll just go and hand water it. I can't be bothered waiting for the wind, it's just ridiculous this year, so get her done. I'm not gonna film putting this down, but stand by for the results, it's gonna be awesome. Alrighty, so that's spread. Now I'll put the rear lawn on. Remote. 30 minutes, that should be enough. Click. Pump's turning on. Sprinkler is starting to sprinkle. I'll be able to see if the fertilizer is dissolved enough by that water. I think there's going to be a couple of spots where it's really fighting the wind. See how it goes. So yeah, don't forget to actually fertilize your lawn, especially when you're trying to grow it and you're putting it on YouTube, so that'll be handy. Yeah. One quick thing, yeah, someone pointed out in the comments of the last video that they liked that they saw the animals and the dogs still being able to run around on the lawn and have fun. So I know I've said it in the past, but unless you've got a dog that just goes crazy and really just stops your progress, yeah, let the animals get out there and have some fun, and they'll enjoy it. One of that little black and grey cat, he actually died this week. Had to get put down, had some bad cancer, so he's only 2 years old, a little feral that rocked up at the house, but yeah, so rest in peace to old Henry. Yeah. So yeah, let your animals go nuts on the lawn. They'll have fun. What's going to be happening next is this high nitrogen fertilizer is going to pump leaf growth. The parts for my other mower arrived. I'll fix that, and then I'm going to start mowing with that again. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to achieve something that I've been wanting to do since I started looking after this lawn. I want to mow it in a certain way, and yeah, keep watching, you'll see what that is. So cheers guys, thanks heaps, appreciate it.